we don't say hespedim, but to the covet of my family and my mother, I have some remarks to share. My mother was born in St. Louis in 1941 and was brought up by a very loving, dear family in a time and place that's very different from what we live in now. She was part of a community, very strong, very organized. Her actual family was secular, but she had was brought up with a very strong Jewish identity. When she married my father, she did something that started a pattern throughout her life. At the age of 19, shortly after their marriage in 1961, she gave all that up. She left her family, she left her community, her friends, and they went out on a roadster on Route 66 in California to start a new life. And that really showed her devotion to my father and set the tone for us of really being a support through thick and thin, and also for going out of your comfort zone and doing what's right in this life. After a number of years when myself, my sister were growing up, and my father didn't want to have anything to do with the conservative synagogue, the temple, and my mother was totally supportive of looking together with other families to start having real kosher Torah chinuch for the children of the community, and they decided to contact Rabbi Shlomo Kunin of Chabad in Los Angeles. She didn't know what she was getting herself into, but that again was a support from my father and to us of breaking through the boundaries of changing the paradigm, and that started a whole shift into her full allegiance toward true life. After years of nurturing the Chabad of South Bay with Rabbi Eli Heft in Lomita, California, and later they helped found the second shul closer to their home in Palos Verdes, Chabad of Palos Verdes. And Mechayel, my mother and my father developed a true Jewish life, a Hasidic life in the suburbs of California. And they became what we call unofficial Chabad representatives to the community. They did all the things of a welcoming home, of supporting to the rabbis, of just being friendly and always being there for whatever mundane things need to be done behind the scenes. They did it without fanfare, without any type of publicity at all. My mother showed us the true meaning of opening a home and opening up her heart to so many people, strangers and regulars alike, throughout all the years that they were there. My mother had an atiyah. She really wanted to move to an established Jewish community. She said, we've already made it this far. I want to have all the friends, the conveniences. But my father was pretty strong about staying where he was. And my mother was nosea oil. She did things because even though maybe she had other ideas, but she felt that this was what her husband wanted, and she saw the wisdom of what he had laid out, of what their goals should be in that area, and she followed suit. And she did everything with a smile and with a style, and was always so charming to all others who she encountered. She actually made the big leap to start covering her hair in the early 80s, which putting on a sheitel in those times was something that was, for her, another leap of faith, another going out of the regular paradigm. And that's actually through a direct connection she had to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, that she would go into travel to what's called in the Shei Chabad Convention, which is held every year shortly before Shavuos. And she met the Rebbe as he was coming out of Mincha. These were the days before the regular dollars, and it was very hard to really reach the Rebbe in those days. But if you placed yourself outside of the small shul in 770, as the Rebbe walked back to his office, you could greet him. And my mother positioned herself there every single year when she came to that convention, and it was through that soul connection to the Rebbe that she, in fact, made that leap into full Torah observance with covering her hair. And Baruch Hashem, she has the nachas and the peiros from those acts that she put herself outside of her comfort zone. Baruch Hashem, she was able to reap much nachas in her life. And this idea that she never really complained, even she was always Noisei oil. And we really see this in these last few years where she came to Bet Shemesh as what I call the accidental Olah, where she didn't plan on making Aliyah. It just happened where she could not leave. And not once did I hear any remarks from her of regret or longing for the old life that she had in sunny, beautiful sunny California with all the conveniences and quiet that she had there. She was totally able to adapt, and always with a smile, always with patience, and totally adapting to her new circumstances with love. I remember that the reaction I would get sometimes I would go shopping with my mother, and just to see how she treated regular shopkeepers, and just the smiles that she always brought with her. There was a very well-known bakery in Los Angeles called Schwartz's Bakery on Fairfax, and my mother was a regular, and when she shopped for always triple digits, because we had to bring out all the kosher food back to Palos Verdes. And when the shopkeeper, when the clerks at the counter, the old Hungarian survivors with tattoos on their arms would see her, they gave her 5-star treatment, celebrity. She would tell me, I'm embarrassed what they're saying to me, but this is the reaction they have. This customer of theirs, to them, is gold. The way that she treated them, with their heritage, with a smile and respect, and they reciprocated this in kind. I just want to conclude by giving thanks, Karzatov, to all those who befriended my mother in these last years here in Bet Shemesh, and the caretaker, Joanna's here, and her medical staff team, especially at Sharon Tzedek, and they did heroic efforts. Again and again, she was hospitalized, and through Pella Pelos, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, she was able to bounce back. And so we really owe a debt of gratitude to all her doctors and specialists who helped her at that time. And I really, really want to say to myself and my wife, a karazatov to my sister and my brother-in-law, Aryeh and Jolene, who were so dedicated, so together to my mother over these last few years, especially seeing that every need that she came up, every practical, bureaucratic problem was overcome, was resolved. That took so much off my mother's plate, and that she spent her last years the shalom or the shalva, having the confidence that Artie and Jolene were taking care of so many of the logistics for her and showing such warmth and care from her grandchildren who are always over at her house. And I want to ask Mechila, they were my wife, myself, and my children back in Los Angeles, that we weren't able to visit as often as we wanted or talk as much as we wanted, to spend time. And we asked Mechila for my mother for any slights that may have happened throughout these years, and especially in the last years that we weren't here with her as much as we wanted. We asked Mechila, and we hopefully soon that your stay in God Eden will be very short, that you'll come back with Mashiach, Goel Tzedek, with Chiyas HaMesim, the Karav Mamish.
You can be seated. I'm going to try to share with you some words that Jolene wrote. Mom, I love you so much. You were the best mother a daughter could ever ask for. You taught me how to be a good mother to my children just by your setting an example. You were always, always there for me. Every day when I came home from school, you were there to greet me. I always felt so loved. You were my best friend. I never imagined that you'd end up moving to Israel and live around the corner. But Hashem has His plans. And He made it very clear that you should live here and end your life here. You were the kindest, gentlest, sweetest woman I ever knew. You worried about everyone else and always wanted everyone to be happy. And you always put others before yourself. You were such a dedicated wife to Dad. For 52 years, we couldn't imagine how you could cope without Dad. But you did. You kept on with your life. Hashem brought you to us in Eretz Yisrael to celebrate this Hal and Batsheva's wedding. And Yad Hashem, you got very sick right after Sheva Brachos. For 2.5 years, you struggled just to keep breathing and to rebuild your strength after each bout of illness. For what most people would be simply a common cold, knocked you out for weeks. And you just kept going and going. You pushed yourself to exercise and to keep going to your social senior group, which was so important and which you loved so much. And I want to say thank you to those people who were such the social support for Mom. You enjoyed your grandchildren so much, and especially the great-grandchildren. You always took pride when everyone had success. You were so thrilled. When Usher got the job, just like Dad's job. And that Shia is aspiring to be a scientist, just like Dad. The highlight of your week was talking to Morty and Rifki. You always looked forward to it. This past month has culminated in such a way that it seemed like it was just getting your neshama ready to leave. Starting with a beautiful Pesach Seder exactly a week ago, a month ago, that you enjoyed so much. And then Mendel and Mushki gave birth to a boy who they named for Dad. And finally, the simcha of Usher and Elisa Kentz, letting you know that they are expecting. Mom, you can finally stop struggling to breathe. You can relax in this world. Your journey here is over. What you can do is over. Now it's up for us here to help with schuyos so that you and Dad can continue together in the Shemayim fighting for us. I miss you so much already. I love you so much. Please forgive me if I pushed you too hard or if I hurt you in any way. I want to add, all mother-in-law jokes aside, if you say that there's truth in every joke, there was nothing that was so far from a joke about my mother-in-law. There was nothing I could have ever asked for better. She never said a word to us, 28 years, never said a word of criticism, never. I don't think I ever heard her criticize anyone. It was such a pleasure having her and Dad when they came on their visits. They were always there for us in so many ways, always there for our children. We did try the past few years that Mom lived with us. It was hard, it was very hard in some ways, and we tried to give her so much. And I think we really did the best that we possibly could have done. But nevertheless, I want to ask Mechila, in my name, the name of my children, if we ever did anything wrong, to please be mochelet, please get by. I want to ask publicly if anyone knows if Mom was ever owes money to them, to please let us know. She would not want that to continue. Your neshama should be tzrura b'tzrura chayim.
But we love you. We miss you. You know you're in a better place. It doesn't mean it's not easy for us. There's lots of things to say, but I'm not going to see them. I don't understand. I forgot them anyways. We should have shown you how much we loved you when you were here. It was very hard a lot of times. You were so special. You lived in our house for 2 years. It was very hard for you. And you never ever complained. When we didn't talk, we talked in Hebrew and we didn't pay attention to everything that was bothering you. You never complained. You never said anything was bad. So when I called you before Shabbos, you always said, I'm okay, I'll be better, and I know it's going to be okay. And nothing ever let you down. And I know you kept yourself alive with a nisim from Hashem for the past 2.5 years, and I think you saw the nachas you needed to see, and you're ready to go to the next world. So we're happy for you for that. At least you got to see the nachas you needed to see.